Right.
You only got to step off the elevator before.
Yeah. I hate running. I love going to the gym, but I will run. My max is like 3.5 miles.
I like the tweets. If it's a local game, I'm cool with it. But if it's like somebody from like Georgia, it's like I like sunny day. I like those things. I would have to do a deep dive on every single thing. I know he's a local kid. He's working on. That's all I gotta say. And trust me, there's like that's why you see like Gamecock Central or Tiger Head, you know, like this guy does this. So I'm just like, it doesn't matter. But like it was nice when it was Pinewood played Hammond.
Okay.
And I got
Well,
to
like,
see that defensive end. Oh my god.
He's a large human being. He plays basketball too. I wonder if he's gonna play this year though.
Is he or is he just? I know Curtis will be in Georgia.
Yeah, I think Clemson's going hard for it too. Obviously, Muschamp has his son playing there.
Wow.
He's very well.
His son will play somewhere. It's not as a scholarship athlete. I don't think he'll. Well, the quarterback is one of the
I wear flip-flops and my black knickers, which I need new shoes, but at the store they're all like weird and colorful, and they like have all these new designs. I'm like, I just want regular shoes.
But then if you look at
We were 19 in college, and we got a pair of shoes one time, because we always had our workout shoes we got every year. And it's always the most exciting day, because like this, my sophomore year, should have been a signing a year or two ago. They were, because we were purple and yellow, so they had yellow, like, maybe like the foam bottom or whatever, and then it was like mesh, but it had like circles, like leopard shoes. They were hideous. They were the worst shoes. They became like my tarping shoes. I was like, these are disgusting. Yeah. You think I am?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's press conference. The Bulldogs are coming off a 35-17 victory at home over Western Carolina. We'll be on the road this week at number 8 Furman. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. And just announced the Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Week is the Citadel's outside linebacker, Marquise Blunt. Here to talk about the Bulldogs, head coach Brent Thompson.
Thank you, John. Last week we said here, and I told you it was a must-win game for us, and I thought we came out and played like it was a must-win game for us. Both sides of the ball played extremely well. We had about one drive in the first half that I thought we gave them a little bit too much. We gave them about 30 yards in penalties on 2 different drives. But other than that, I thought we played extremely well on defense. Offensively, we got out to a fast start. We played extremely hard, and that was important for us. We wanted to get on the board and keep on laying it down. We want to make sure that we were playing all the way through the game. And unfortunately, the third quarter came and we fell into a little bit of a rut. Offensively, we gave up about 2 opportunities that we thought we could have gotten points on, including the first one where we missed a field goal on and took a penalty in the red zone or close enough to the red zone. So offensively, that was a good outing. The fourth quarter was a little bit better for us. We put the game out of reach somewhere midway through the fourth quarter. Defensively, I thought we had a good stand at the end of the game. We gave, but we didn't break. We had a lot of good things go our way. We could 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. So defensively, that's 3 takeaways for us. That's an excellent day for us on the defensive side. This week it's obviously not another must-win, but it's a great opportunity. Furman is the number 8 team in the country right now. They are playing extremely well. They have good personnel. They know what they're doing. They've got an offense that can simulate our offense. They've also got an offense where they can move pieces around and get guys open and take advantage of some techniques and some fundamentals that can be very challenging for our defense. So we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to continue to do what we do. We've got to probably pick up where we left off last week and get back to running our offense. I thought Brandon looked about as good as he's looked in about 4 weeks, and that was important for us, and that really helped us. And I'm very proud of Marquise. He's a good player for us, and I'm glad to see that he did get the Defensive Player of the Week this week. Questions?
Coach, the week leading up to Western Carolina, of course, obviously the result speaks for the guys answered, but what was that week like leading up? How quickly did they realize, we need to get back on top of everything?
It was a long, miserable week, and it was challenging because we really had to hold ourselves back for 6 or 7 days. And that's exactly what I said in the locker room after the VMI game, is we've got to sit on this for the next 7 games, and there's nothing worse than that. You're just sitting on an awful performance out there. Not that VMI is not a good team, because I think they did prove that this week, and they beat a pretty good Sanford team. But we just didn't play well, and I don't think we gave them the game that we really should be giving them. And the fact that we had to sit on that for 6 or 7 made it really, really long. But I was excited when game day came around because I knew that they were ready. And when they took the field, I kind of sensed it and felt it from the first snap all the way through.
Furman's another rivalry game, having lost to Silver Shako 2 weeks ago. Is there a little extra motivation to go out there and lay it on the Paladins?
Well, absolutely. And there will always be that amongst our alumni, amongst being it's an in-state rivalry for us. It's kind of nice. There's a lot riding on this game for us. We know that there's a lot riding on this game for them. I mean, I think they've got a real legitimate chance to win the conference here, and we certainly would like to be able to knock them off. In order to do so, we've got to play probably our best football game, and I told the guys that last night. We've got to be, we were good on Saturday. We've got to be outstanding next Saturday.
Is Furman the best team you've played so far, and what impresses you the most about them?
They are the best team that we've played so far. Probably in some regard, I think they are, because they put you in a lot of different binds. They are a similar style offense to us, and they're going to do enough to be able to make sure they're always finding ways to get guys open. Their play action game is very, very strong. Defensively, they've got a pretty sound scheme that they've been running. Even though Coach Staggs isn't there, they've got a pretty solid scheme that they run every year against us. So they know what they're doing. They play pretty tough. I think they formation you pretty good on offense. So yeah, probably is going to be the toughest game that toughest team we'll face all year long.
Coach, you're just dominating time of possession, just running the ball in everybody's throats. Furman does the exact same thing. How do you balance that out if both of you guys are just eating up clock and it comes down to you need to score in like 90 seconds? Yeah,
possessions will be few and far between in this game. And last week's game, we were just on the high end of it. We were 31 minutes or so. I thought we probably need to do a better job this week of controlling the clock and staying on the field. What we did last week was probably what we've got to do again this week, and be aggressive on 3rd down and be aggressive on 4th down. You saw us take most of our chances on 1st and 2nd down when we were going to try the pass play. We were going to make sure that we had another couple of downs to be able to get the 1st down. So it'll be difficult. We've got to find a way off the field on the defensive side, and we've got to find a way to be able to use all four downs to probably get the 1st down on the offensive side.
As aggressive as y'all were on Saturday offensively, was that the game plan going into Western Carolina, or was that just kind of a result of the drive to need to come back and win?
I think it was a little bit of both. We wanted to make a statement, and there's only one way to make a statement, and that's to be aggressive. Is if you go out there, you send the wrong message to the team. Like if you're going to punt the ball on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2, I think that's the wrong message that we wanted to send that particular day. If we were going to talk a big game leading up into that week, we were going to say we were going to have to go for it. So we had the mindset going in that we were going to go for it. We only converted 2 of 11 on 3rd down, but we were 4 of 4 on 4th down. So that was an interesting stat. I didn't realize that we were only 2 of 11, but it just goes to show you that we were using all of our downs, and if we were taking our shots, we were taking them on 1st and 2nd down.
Coach, you and Furman have each played 2 shared opponents so far in CSU and Sanford. How much do you look at those games in particular, knowing that you each have seen different looks, and in terms of grading how this matchup can play out on Saturday?
Yeah, you look at a little bit of the matchups of where CSU is at right now, where Sanford is at right now. Unfortunately, the Sanford game got out of control fairly quickly there. It was, by the time we flipped it on somewhere in the second quarter, it was about 34 points on the board. So that was a little bit thrown off a little bit. And CSU, they got after CSU pretty good. So that's why I think this is a very good, explosive football team that you got to watch out for. And the one thing I do see, the quarterback, much different than he was as a true freshman last year. He can put the ball on the money, and they do have wide receivers that they can find a way to get open.
When you say this is a rivalry game, I know this is one that people are going to talk about plenty. How much do you hear from your fans and people around this community about this Furman team throughout the year, not just here in a game week?
Well, we've got such a strong Greenville alumni base that you hear it when you go up there quite a bit. And even when you get down here, there's quite a bit of things that people have to say about Furman, and it goes back to it used to be the last game of the year. They kept you out of the playoffs a couple of times here and there. We'll hear about it a little bit tonight. You'll always have fans out there and alumni out there. It's on my Twitter feed all the time. So yeah, we certainly do take this one seriously, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice because we are old SoCon foes, and which has been a good little rivalry between the two schools.
Between Wofford, VMI, CSU, and Furman, does the Citadel have too many rivals?
I don't think we have any friends. We must not have any friends. I know. Every time I turn around, I feel like we're in a rivalry game here. But
Does it have to get up for that many rivalries, or do you like, that you have feelings between that?
I kind of like it. And the good thing about what we have going on here is we've been playing football for a long time. We've been in the Southern Conference for a long time. We've got regional foes. We've got teams that we've been playing for a long time. The CSU is it's close. It's close proximity. We've had some battles. We've had playoff games. We've played them a couple times in a row there. That's how that really probably became a rivalry. The Wofford game is another one, is where we had been on the lopsided end of 16 straight in that game at one time. And then slowly we're bringing that one back around a little bit because we've had some pretty good ball games with those guys. VMI, obviously, it's a rival now again, right? As you go 12 straight years and then all of a sudden you lose it. Now that becomes a huge rivalry game. So that one gets circled on your calendar. In Furman, the last time we were up there, we played horrible. We played one of our worst games ever since I've been here. That's going to sit, and I reminded our players of that last night too. That doesn't sit too well with me. So we want to make sure that we go up there and we play a little bit better than we did last time.
Did you make any adjustments this week to open up, spread the middle of the defense, the opposing defense a little bit for the fullback, or it just seemed like there was a little more room for Clay Harris?
Well, Clay had having a healthy Clay made a difference in there, and I thought that he had pretty good vision. And the one at the end of the game that he popped, we were just leaning on it until something did bust open in there and break open in there. But the offensive line did a heck of a job of just being able to move guys out of there. And when you have a running back in there that's a little bit more experienced than Logan was or Mike was, he knows where those subtle adjustments are going to be, where the backside cut's coming from, where they're going to pursue to. It just helps our offense out a little bit more when you finally are able to establish a fullback game.
Are you playing the tight end more and more, or?
We played him a lot last week. I thought it fit very nicely into the game plan, and I was really impressed with the way that he played. I thought we matched up well with him in there. It's a little bit of a different dynamic with him in there than it is in our traditional offense. Typically, all but the VMI week, we always have him in our game plan at some point. And with the VMI week, it was just a matter of personnel. They're going to match your personnel, so it didn't make much sense.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks, Coach.